I want to say first that I am sorry to this poor kickstand. I'm sorry. The day I screwed up. Wow, this is yesterday. Last night I was I have been building up this bicycle for my client. Everything are perfect except the kickstand. The reason that this frame, even though it looks not bad, but the design of this frame is crap. It don't have the kickstand mount, and its kickstand mount, I mean the kickstand central kickstand mount, it don't has that. Instead, it has this side, this rear mount kickstand. You can see the two butt holes right there. These two. When I was testing ride this bicycle, I haven't had this kickstand mount right there, but this frame, this section, this rear mount, you can tell this is a separate component that has been welded to those two alley pipes. This mount is molded, or I don't know, maybe CNC aluminum. The design of this is just wanking. The person who designed this don't understand physics, don't ride a bicycle. This component is too soft. It flex. It flex not only on the vertical but also horizontal. So meaning that when you mount on this bicycle, your weight is gonna press this component, and this component warps, and the disc is gonna rub. The caliper is gonna rub the disc. So basically, what happens is that when you mount on this bicycle, and when you start pedaling, you're free coasting, the caliper is gonna rub the disc, and because the frame warps, and when you're not pedaling, the caliper warp the disc, and it makes this annoying tingling sound. And as soon as you pedal, it's good. When you stop pedaling, the frame warps, and it just makes this tingling. It's so annoying. The frame is too soft. The material of this alley is too soft. That was the issue. So I didn't mount the kickstand on theirs because I can tell that that component is too soft without the kickstand. So when you mount the kickstand, that's very short. When you mount kickstand, the kickstand is gonna bend that component even more, and that's a very short lever ratio. Kickstand is quite long. It's like the mount is like this thick, and the kickstand is like this long. When you bike on the weight, when you try to stand your bicycle, it's gonna bend that component. That's already very soft, and when you bend that, it's gonna completely tilt the caliper position, thus screwed up everything. The design of this frame just unthoughtful. I want to buy another of this frame, even though it looks not bad. Okay, it looks good. In fact, the painting is alright, but this Chinese made just crap. This is very similar another frame which I use. This one also have those newer version of like hidden down here caliper position. Old school frames have caliper mount here because it won't create issues such as warping, but this mount has doing very well. You can tell that it's very thick. The design is good enough, and this don't warp. I don't have any issue on this frame. This is my bicycle. This is the bike I built for my client. But the thing is, when you the price is exactly the same. The price between my frame and that frame is exactly the same. But it's all about tiny little details that sometimes you just don't bother to look at. Sometimes you just forget to look at. Just like I brought this frame, the price is very good, and it looks good. The size is perfect, and I just brought it. The people who sell this are very they just care. Everything they care is money. They don't care about their product. They just wanna get money. And the stuff they sell are just crap. The stuff they made is just crap. They didn't show the kickstand mount, the bicycle that don't have the kickstand mount. The frame only have like a couple of pictures. And I brought this frame separate. I brought this frame from that seller. They don't have much detail on pictures, and I didn't bother to ask. I just brought this frame. I just brought this frame. I thought, what's the best it could be? Ended up, no. It just crap. It don't have the central kickstand mount. This frame has. My frame has. This one doesn't has it. And what you can't see from the picture is that the rear mount is too soft. It's flexy. That's you can't tell from the frame. And also, this is the second frame I brought. This is the second one. The first one I brought from their. It's like one seller have multiple a store, online store. I brought from the first store. They sent the wrong product, and I returned that product, refund the money. It was it cost me extra week waiting for nothing. It's time wasting. The second frame I brought from this the brother store. It's same brand frame, pretty much same thing, and they send the right product, but this product just won't get it. It's just not gonna get it. It's a totally wrong decision to choose this brand, to choose this store, to choose this frame to buy. But if I return this frame, which I've already modified this frame, I've scraped some paints, I've added and minus some stuff. If you return it, it's gonna be another hustle, wasting another week. It's pretty much the rear mount flexing issue has been solved by an increase in the caliper distance, and you get a slightly weak rear brake, a slightly weak caliper. You don't lock your rear wheel quite easily, just like a front wheel. But it's fine. You still can brake pretty well, but it's just not gonna be an excellent rear braking. I won't accept that for my bike, but for this client, it's like more like an easy type of commute ride flat most of the time. So it's gonna be fine for him. But so yesterday I was the first run I brought all the components. By the way, I brought all the components from online. So on the first round that I find stuff and brought online, the kickstand wasn't. The kickstand was a central mount kickstand. Since this bike don't have a central mount this kickstand, so the kickstand I brought didn't work. And then the second run, a week later, I brought this, which is from this hippie Germany kickstand, which has this narrow bolt mount that couldn't mount on that frame. That frame has wider bolt distance. So I figured out I'll just DIY. I plan to have this stainless steel, drill 2 hole and mount on this, and then I'll weld this stainless steel and on that on the bolt hole on that bicycle frame. This was a total disaster. I screwed up. I fucking screwed up. I don't have drill press, and to drill through a stainless steel this thick, 1.5 millimeter. You can't drill through this with a hand drill. You have to have a drill press to drill through something like this. I didn't have that, so my solution was to weld. Just literally use the weld to melt a hole. Okay, and this is what I done. I pretty much ruined this metal. I just melt everything. I just pretty much destroyed this metal. That wasn't successful, but I ended up having 2 holes. Okay, and actually this was actually tightened to this square pipe. But by the time I tightened the second bolt, the fucking bolt snapped into half because of the temperature. The metal are just cooked. The bolt couldn't withstand that temperature, so the bolt snapped. Okay, this 6mm bolt snapped into half. So there's another bit of this bolt that is broken and left into that bolt hole inside the square pipe, and there's no way you can remove that. You can see it's right there. You can't remove that. So my solution was literally fill this bolt, the second failed bolt hole, with stainless steel melting metal. Just melt the metal and bind this hole to this pipe. Okay, and that overheating this kickstand, and then the plastic was melting, and my whole room smelled like terrible, weird smell plastic. Everything has that weird smell. It still has this smell today. And then this kickstand was ruined completely. The plastic shell was like should be stay here, and the spring pushes it and just melt through. This kickstand basically ruined. The metal parts are still there, but the plastic part is ruined. And this was me trying to weld this aluminum to this steel. I thought this is steel because, yeah, quite heavy, quite chunky. I thought, oh, this must be steel. So let me weld this, and ended up, nope, this is aluminum. You can't weld aluminum with DC welder, which I use DC welders to weld stainless steel. This is stainless steel, this is aluminum. You can't bond them together. You can't even weld aluminum properly with DC. A total failure. I failed miserably. I not only failed to mount the kickstand to the bicycle, I also destroyed the entire product, which is a nice product. I like that, but it's being totally ruined. I was, and then it's like it's 7 p.m. and those annoying people dancing downstairs start to play loud music, but I have to open the window just right that time because my room was filled with plastic smell. I have to open that window, to release that plastic. Just right the time those people started dancing and play loud music, and then finally my room was released toxic, and I closed the window. I saw this fucking mosquito flying. I literally felt like I tried to carry something in a running river, and then I slept. And all the process I've been done have been flushed away. I've been flushed back to the point I started. Just by one slip. It's like, if that plastic didn't melt, if that bolt didn't snap, by the time now, I should have kickstand mounted on that frame, which solves everything. This become a complete product to my client. It would be the perfect best custom bicycle I've ever built up, and just because that couple of things happened, and now this bicycle don't have a kickstand. It's not important. It's not a problem for me. I never need a kickstand on my bicycle. But this client is a commute normal people. I never need a kickstand, and when people use a kickstand, the bike falls over anyway. It's never a good solution. Just lean your bike against the wall. It's so easy, but most people couldn't understand. They just couldn't wrap their head around with the bicycle don't have a kickstand. They couldn't have this habitat to lean the bicycle against the wall. They just couldn't do that. If I give this bicycle to my client, he probably would try to mount a kickstand on the bicycle anyway by himself. Even I would tell him, just lean the bike against the wall. They can't have that mentality. Anyway, this still is a complete great bicycle, except that fucking kickstand. And it's very unnecessary. And when I do this unnecessary thing and it's failing, it felt even worse. I don't have to do this for my. It's like it's very unnecessary stuff, and I have to do it, and I failed it. It's the worst feeling ever. I felt great failure. I just felt so bad. I screamed, fuck, to the loudest ability I could. Didn't solve anything. I would just sit on my chair and just almost crying. I failed miserably. I felt so bad. I just felt so bad. I couldn't take this. I thought that I couldn't take that anymore. I just couldn't take this anymore. Yesterday I went out and testing this bicycle. I ride to the park nearby, and there this one fucking guy riding a e-trike, which is very wide, took the whole bicycle lane. He rode that the wrong way, and he honking to me. It's like, why the hell? We supposed to fuck up. What the hell are you doing? Why are you riding the right way? You're supposed to ride the wrong way. I was like, fuck, turn around. He was like, yeah, whatever. I didn't turn around. He took the car lane. He'd rather ride the wrong way on the car lane. Okay? Facing the car coming at him 60 k's away. But wouldn't ride the right way, which is literally on the other side of the road. Took no effort to ride that. He just had to ride the wrong way. I was pissed off. I was, fuck you! I was like, and people like that is all over. You can't avoid that for any one instance, but just get out. It's tough to even get out of the store and ride your bicycle. I felt so hard. I just couldn't take this anymore. What's wrong with this place? I couldn't take it anymore. Yesterday was pretty bad. But I went over anyway. It's